Lord Bacaro. You there. Might we speak? I have a keen eye for talent, my dear, and you're practically oozing it from your pores. I am Lady Arabelle DeVoe. If you're looking for gainful employment, I have a proposition for you that pays exceedingly well. Care to hear more? Oh, nothing tawdry, my dear. We'll be too busy for romantic shenanigans before long, I expect. Some precious cargo was supposed to sail in on the morning tide, but it never arrived. I need someone not known around the island to be my eyes and ears. While tales of my exploits credit me with all sorts of talents, I can't be in more than one place at a time. I could use a fresh face to mingle with the locals, determine if anyone knows anything about my 3 missing ships and their cargo. Lord Bacaro's conference can't proceed without that cargo. Here's what I need you to do. Check the inn, the lighthouse, and the Lockabane shallows. See if anyone knows or saw anything. Then meet me outside the North Gate to compare notes. Certainly. Since you're new to High Isle, I understand you may not be as familiar with the local area as I am. What do you wish to know? Gonfalon Head Lighthouse, blessed by Kinnereth herself, stands atop the hill just west of town. It offers an excellent vantage from which to watch the nearby waters. Perhaps the lighthouse keeper saw something that will help. Possibly. When ships fail to make port, it's only natural to wonder if they were damaged or blown off course by a storm. The lighthouse keeper has a perfect view of the approach to Gonfalon Bay. If my ships were out there, she might have seen them. The currents of Lockabane are strong. Flotsam from the open sea often washes up along the shores of the waterway. Some of High Isle's poorer folk comb the beach looking for salvage. Let's hope they haven't found any today. The ancient Anchor Inn sits just up the street near the city gate. It's one of the more popular places on the island. In my experience, inns are an excellent location to pick up rumors. Wherever you think is best, my dear. But do get started soon. My intuition tells me that some sort of mischief is afoot, and my intuition is rarely wrong. The gentleman beside me, Lord Bacaro Valoris, leads the Society of the Steadfast. They're a philanthropic fellowship that provides aid to people who have suffered in the Three Banners War. The Society is sponsoring a conference here on the island. That's a well-guarded secret, my dear. Perhaps after you've proven yourself, I can bring you in on the details. For the moment, knowing any more won't help us find out what happened to my missing ships. That's not an option I care to contemplate, not while there's still a chance to find them. Forgive me for being evasive, but it's a rather sensitive topic to discuss in public. We've already faced adversity, and the conference has yet to begin. Me? Oh, I'm no one special, my dear. I've been an adventurer, a Lion Guard officer, a spy, a diplomat. People claim the Investigator Vale stories are about me, or that I wrote them. Ridiculous. I'm retired now, but I still dabble from time to time. Oh, pish-posh. Do these look like the ink-stained fingers of a writer of overly imaginative and lurid tales to you? I'm rather fond of the bawdy investigator and her adventures, though. They remind me of my younger days. I'm overseeing security for the conference. A few months ago, Lord Bacaro approached me, explained his grand plans, and lured me out of retirement, you might say. My charming personality. When I was an agent for High King Emmerich, I traveled widely and met many dignitaries, including Lord Bacaro. He asked me to make sure everything went smoothly for his conference. So far, it's been anything but.
Ah, a visitor. Or another one of Lady Arabelle's associates. Either way, welcome to our island. Bacaro Valorous, founder of the Society of the Steadfast, at your service. I hope you find your visit to High Isle restful and profitable. Yes, a sudden squall of unusual intensity. It died out just as quickly as it arose. I noticed it off to the northeast. Dark clouds filled that part of the horizon. Perhaps our ships were delayed by the shifting winds, or decided to wait out the storm. I'm afraid that's privileged information. Suffice it to say, the cargo coming in on those ships is vital to the conference the Society of the Steadfast is sponsoring. Of course I do, but I learned long ago to have patience when it comes to such matters. Not every setback is a conspiracy, and not every delay is the act of a Daedric cult. Though, if you do learn anything of imminent concern, please let us know. I'm a philanthropist. I started the Society of the Steadfast to give relief to those caught up in the suffering caused by the Three Banners War. We establish healing tents for the wounded, distribute food and water, and provide whatever aid we can. As Lady Arabelle said, that's not something we're ready to talk about. Not until the cargo from the missing ships is secured. After that, I'll answer any questions you have. I'll even proclaim the purpose of the conference from the town square. High Isle is the primary island in the Sisters Archipelago. Technically, we're a Breton holding, but we try to behave as a neutral port. People from all over Tamriel come to experience the natural beauty of the island. Well, nobles mostly. Parts of it. But we have a rich history, and the same sorts of dangers you'd experience on the mainland. Bandits, pirates, wild beasts. And you might want to avoid our sister island, Amanos. It's a harsh jungle that has long served as a prison. Mostly political prisoners from the Empire at first. Later, rival nobles, pirates, murderers. The worst of the worst. Today it also includes war criminals and certain prisoners of war. Amanos Station is friendly enough, but the jungle is deadly.
I'm a dockmaster, not a bloody mage. What does the lady expect me to do if her ships never made it to the docks in the first place? Should I be? Lady Arabelle suspects some sort of foul play, but not on my docks. Not a chance. Gonfalon Bay is safe. Everyone knows that. Trouble comes from the mainland, not from here. Of course, the waters to the northeast can be treacherous. The closer you get to Amanos, the more unpredictable the currents become. And storms constantly barrage the coast, not to mention sea elf pirates. A good captain knows these things. None of that would keep Lady Arabelle's ships from reaching port. Like I said, storms close to Amanos aren't that unusual. I doubt the ships we're waiting for would have sailed that far north. Just in case, I sent people to look for signs of wreckage in the shallows. I really don't expect them to find any, though.
A fascinating application of the technique. Welcome. Are you here on Mage's Guild business? Yes, of course. We're lawkeepers across the face of Tamriel. Guild members seek out books, tomes, and ancient scrolls in their travels. Why don't you speak with me for a moment? Perhaps you'd like to join. Always good to speak with another knowledge seeker. Guildmaster Vanus will be pleased. We're book hunters of a sort. We seek out new information, capture it in our libraries, and make copies for distribution across Tamriel. The Guild doesn't care about battlefields or boundaries, just knowledge and the acquisition of new tomes. We provide training in unique spells and abilities only available to members. And from time to time, projects crop up for those with an adventuresome spirit. You may end up working with the Guildmaster himself. We are neutral in the war between the three alliances. When we're on Guild business, we kneel to no king or queen. That's why you'll see members of every race in our halls. Vanus Galerian, one of the founding members of this august body, still holds the proud title of Guildmaster, overseeing every guild hall in Tamriel. He works with other ranking members, such as Tellinger, the Artificer, to ensure our future success. Excellent. You are now a student of the Mages Guild. Every book you find will now earn you reputation in the guild.
Welcome to our hall. Are you familiar with the guild? The Fighters Guild. You should consider joining up. We have a new guildmaster and a new singular purpose. Why don't we talk for a moment? Excellent. I know we'll all be drawing blades together soon enough. Now, what can I tell you? Right. Our new guildmaster is an Argonian, sees all colors. She has us all hunting down the Daedra and their damned anchors. You might have seen them. Enormous chains, plagues of Daedra boil out to lay waste to the countryside. Hard fights. Ha! Yes, good question. We train our members in special techniques, and the higher-ups are always looking for motivated members to help with special projects. You never know, you might be the next Yofnir. Guildmaster Yofnir passed away recently, very suddenly. I always thought he'd die with a blade in his hand, but he passed away in his sleep, called to Sovngarde by his ancestors. We all miss him, but Colors has proven to be a very able leader. No, we only draw blades in service to the guild. We're technically neutral in the war between the three alliances. We love the Eagle Banner and Her Majesty, of course, but every race, every creed belongs under the guild hall's roof. Then let me be the first to officially welcome you as an associate of the Fighters Guild. Get out there and take the fight to the Daedra.
I hear these knights are robbing people and looting caravans. Someone ought to do something.
The good folks shook the bad folks side and told the
Hail, friend. Have you heard about the band of robber knights that waylaid travelers on the road to Gonfalon Bay? I came to High Isle to trade, but getting goods from the interior has become a roll of the dice. A rogue band that calls itself the Ascendant Order. I thought they were only active on the mainland, but they're here on High Isle. Rabble-rousers and troublemakers, if you ask me. And now, I hear they're looting caravans outside the city walls. Not specifically, but I saw some fancy-pants nobles giving the dockmaster grief. Missing ships could mean anything. Storms, pirates, poor winds, worthless navigators. Try Sergeant Dane over there. He's with the Sisters Guard and knows a lot.
I'm off duty, newcomer. Got a complaint? Take it to one of the other guards. We police High Isle. Ships that haven't arrived yet aren't our problem. Besides, we've got our hands full with these so-called Ascendant Order Knights. They're stirring up trouble all across the island. Just that they're little more than well-armed bandits. They've been recruiting the poor to bolster their numbers. Now they're robbing caravans while claiming they fight for justice. Honest folk don't hide their faces behind helmets and masks. They're malcontents. They go on about how the high and mighty misuse their power by squabbling over the Ruby Throne. It started out small enough, defying authority, inciting riots, petty sabotage. But now they're hurting people. Something else, newcomer? I'd like to get back to my drink. Ordinary bandits, the Sisters Guard can handle. But when we send enough guards to meet a company of Ascendant Order Ravagers, these faceless knights just melt away. And if we don't send enough guards, then our guards don't come back. Might as well be. Most knights proudly display their emblems. They wear the colors of their house and paint family crests on their shields. These Ascendant Order Knights never remove their helms and bear no devices. They could be anybody.
You have a look about you. Some sort of quality that's rare to find. And trust me, I'm never wrong about these sort of things. Can I interest you in a room at the local inn? Actually, look, empty rooms are just bad for business. The upkeep alone costs me more than the place is worth. But I think we can come to a sort of arrangement. And not the sort of arrangement that involves a few drinks, let me be clear about that. I need someone to improve the reputation of my properties. A hero type who people look up to. And I have a feeling about you. You've done something great and are probably on the way to do something greater. Seems like we can help each other here. Yeah, all right. Details. I can see how this might be a bit sketchy, but don't worry. The inn room is well kept, conveniently located. I know you adventuring types wanting a home in every town. This would be a nice addition to your holdings. No catch. I just need someone to freshen up my image. And my gut tells me you're the one to do that. As long as you're not planning on turning it into a skooma den or an outlaw's refuge, the room is all yours. Oh, sure. You can set up some crafting stations, house your pets, display any treasures or trophies you've come upon in your adventures. Hey, you can even set up a target dummy to practice combat. Just don't demolish the place and we're good. Excellent. You won't regret this decision, I swear. Here's the deed and key to the room. Took me a while, but I finally was able to take them back from the last tenant. Required more time in the sewers than I had hoped for, but hey, that's business. Excellent. Hope the room is to your liking. With your reputation, I'm sure you shouldn't have any trouble with the neighbors. If you do, remember death threats are not the way to go. Had a spot of trouble when my last tenant started sending those out. Nope, just make yourself at home. Spruce things up a bit. Honestly, I can't wait to see how you arrange the place. Hopefully you'll end up with a few less Daedric shrines than another former tenant of mine. Like 0. 0's a good number. Oh, what a relief. I can't tell you how hard it is to wash bloodstains off of cobble floors. But that's not even the worst of it. I've had tenants cram their rooms with a... I own this and several other properties throughout town.
When I sailed with the Sentinel, I had no idea the High Isle market was so lucrative. Well worth the trip.
This is my spot. Find your own spot. Anything shiny. Look, this is the best spot. Albert used to have this spot, and now he's a knight. I bet he's eating meat pies and berry tarts right now. All I need to do is find something they want. The knights? They wear helms and carry no emblems, but their armor is knight armor. They asked Albert if he wanted to go with them. He's a knight now, too. Just need to find something they'll like. Something to show them I'm worthy.
You don't look like a salvager. Come to join up with those so-called knights who've been hanging around, did you? Feh! I'd rather go hungry than swear myself to the likes of them. Haven't seen anything sail by in the lock recently, and no new wreckage washed up today. But I've been keeping my head down. Those robber knights have been chasing off salvagers who won't promise to help them. They were recruiting, or at least offering the chance to earn a reward. They wanted people ready to haul in whatever came ashore. Several salvagers went with them. I wouldn't, though. What I find is mine. To a cave just down the beach. But I'd avoid it if I were you. Old Charbel nearly lost his head snooping around there. I don't know if they found what they were looking for, but I think they left a few nights behind to watch the shallows.
Lost another one. What could it be? Hey! Patience can't go this far. Wait, you're not from the manor. Sorry for the stern healer voice. We have a crisis at Steadfast Manor and I'm frustrated. A mysterious affliction is weakening our patience. We're powerless against it. Steadfast Manor belongs to Lord Bacaro Valoris. He shares his home as a place of healing for both body and soul. Wounded from all sides in the Three Banners War recover here. But if this malady continues to spread, we may have to shutter it. Steadfast Manor isn't just a hospice. It's a place of reconciliation. Lord Bacaro sees our work here as a means to end the war. Perhaps you could help with our problem. Surely you've solved mysteries before. We can reward you for your efforts. I so appreciate your help. Even if you don't know alchemy or healing magic, just helping us learn more could be immensely useful. Go talk to Armin Damal at the manor. He's been looking into this malady. You can find him by the south gate. A soldier of the Daggerfall Covenant. A bit gruff, as you'd expect from a veteran, but I've seen how tenacious he is. I doubt he'll sleep until he learns the cause of the malady. Just don't take his tone personally. He's like that to everyone. Armin was one of our first patients. He's recovered from his wounds, so he could leave if he wished. But he lingers to provide security in case there's a fight. I think he sees real promise in the Society of the Steadfast mission. Honestly, not as often as you'd think. Most of the patients respect our goals. They know the soldiers from the other side are here to heal too. But tempers sometimes run hot. It's only natural. That's when Armin steps in. Quite majestic, isn't it? The pride of Lord Bacaro Valoris. He's shown such generosity by opening his doors to the wounded. I don't know much about the building itself, but I can't imagine a more beautiful place to work. Lord Bacaro leads the Society of the Steadfast. They're a philanthropic group that wants to bring the Three Banners War to an end. While they work toward peace, they try to ease the suffering it causes. Our work at the manor is part of that. Lord Bacaro believes, and I agree, that living alongside the enemy dulls hatreds. These soldiers share stories, heal together, eat at the same table. Hopefully our hospice plants seeds that will someday bloom into peace. I'm one of the menders who works for our master healer, Alexis Verlaine. Mostly I dress wounds and dispense herbs. I suppose I provide some comfort as well. I like this work. Working for such a noble goal is quite rewarding.
I can't believe you drank our entire stock!
Me? Where's your proof? Just because I woke up in a pile of bottles doesn't mean I'm guilty. Those could have been gotten there in any number of ways.
hello there. Say, you look like the type who could go traipsing around dangerous areas in search of rare ingredients. Could I interest you in a job? My partner and I are purveyors and creators of fine drinks. Hilgrim does more drinking than creating, however, which got us into our current trouble. We were on the cusp of making a groundbreaking new spirit, then Hilgrim drank our entire supply. We need 3 ingredients to make another batch, and Hilgrim's in no state to get them himself. The drink requires flesh flies, a sister's passion flower, and a druid's bane mushroom. If I marked the locations on your map, would you gather them for us? Here, these spots should have the ingredients I mentioned. If you can gather them and bring them back, I can whip up a drink that's sure to make all the mainlanders empty out their pockets. So long as I can keep Hilgrim away from it. Hilgrim and I are always experimenting with different flavors and ingredients. Not all of them are successful, of course, but this combination in particular was exceedingly delicious. We stumbled upon something revolutionary. I'm sure of it. We've only just met, lovely stranger. I can't go giving you all our secrets just yet. Hilgrim and I have a special technique when it comes to the blending, but truthfully, we can't take all the credit. The local ingredients play a major role. The flesh fly wings add a bit of bitterness and body to the drink. The sister's passion flower gives it a lovely floral aftertaste and a lovely color. And that particular type of mushroom infuses a great deal of sweetness and heaviness to the mix. Well, you wouldn't know it by looking at him right now, but he's actually a very charming, intelligent, and passionate man. We fell in love over a bottle of Alto wine years ago, and discovered we both had a gift for concocting delicious libations. He makes me want to tear my hair out most days. But yes, we are. As much as he vexes me, he makes me laugh too. And he has incredible ideas. It was his notion to use the flesh flies to add a hint of bitterness to the drink. Just brilliant. Yes, this place brings in rich nobles by the bucketful. Or at least it used to before those delegates came around. But there are still enough gadabouts to take advantage of. People who will pay almost anything for a taste of something different.
Good luck! Oh, you're my hero. The last batch of our newest drink was groundbreaking. Guaranteed to be a hit. We're not totally sure who drank the entire stock, but it's been suggested that it might have been me. But now you're here. Thanks for agreeing to help. I honestly don't remember much about last night. Gunalda and I always taste test our new creations, but I must have gotten a little carried away. Clearly, we did an excellent job crafting a delicious drink. Maybe too delicious, yeah? What? No! You think Gunalda would put up with me if I made a habit out of drinking our livelihoods away? She's a patient woman, but not that patient. No, I think our newest concoction was just particularly tempting. Or potent. Or both. Yes, in both drink making and in life. Isn't she lovely? The way the light reflects off her hair, her perfect frown, the way she narrowing her eyes at me now. I don't know what she sees in me, but I'm grateful. And perhaps a little drunk. It's a wonderful story. A mutual enthusiasm for libations. Two brilliant minds, two fates intertwined. A love so passionate it threatens to engulf all of Tamriel as we bring drinks to the thirsty and curious. It's... Wait, what are we talking about?
Oh, a traveler. I thought those vile knights had returned. Forgive me, I must continue praying for the return of our idol. Without it, this tower's light will remain dark. This lighthouse is special. It's blessed by Kinnereth, the god of winds and sea. No fire serves as a beacon for nearby ships, but the divine light of Kinnereth herself. But without the sacred idol, the light cannot shine. Alas, the idol was stolen. Knights in unmarked livery broke in and stole the Kinnereth idol. I watched the scoundrels flee to the west with the sacred edifice. Perhaps, dare I ask, would you be willing to recover the idol for the lighthouse so I may restore the beacon? They may wear the garb of knights, but the ruffians who assaulted me carry themselves like robbers and outlaws. Whoever they are, they're dangerous. Be wary of them, and may the wind guide you. Bless you, traveler. Please understand, to my order, this is more than just a lighthouse. This beacon spreads Kinnereth's blessing across both land and sea, but only with the idol in place, so it must be returned. It is marvelous, is it not? This is actually the second beacon to stand atop Gonfalon Head. It dates back to the early 1st century. When I assumed my duties here, the tower was in poor repair. Dangerous, even. When Duchess Alea Dufort assumed her father's duties a few years ago, she ordered a complete renovation of the structure. I'm sure she wanted to protect trade in Gonfalon Bay, but she spared no expense in rebuilding the lighthouse. You return, and with the idol. Place it here, and I shall call forth its light. Place the idol here, and I will invoke the rites to call forth its light. Mother Kinnereth, this traveler has set right the desecration of this holy place. Return to us your blessing, and let your light shine over the land and sea. I cannot thank you enough. With the idol returned and the light restored, we can ensure the safe passage of many a weary traveler. Is there any way a priest of humble means could repay you? A blessing, perhaps? Shortly after the lighthouse was pillaged, I spied 3 ships on the horizon. Then suddenly, the clouds darkened, and a terrible storm began to blow in. I lost sight of the ships after that. Perhaps they were simply blown off course? Aminos is notorious for its storms, but Kinnereth generally blesses High Isle with fair weather. I wonder, the way the storm swept in seemed unnatural. And it happened so soon after Kinnereth's idol was removed. The idol has little value outside the lighthouse. Its light does not shine in any other location. My order believes Kinnereth's light blesses High Isle. Why steal the idol unless the knights meant to revoke her protection? A troubling thought indeed.
Good. You found my field office. I thought I'd keep an eye on the lock while awaiting your report. My own investigations have turned up little about our missing ships. Tell me, did you uncover anything useful? Did the lighthouse keeper spot them? Darken the beacon? The locals revere that light. Who would dare offend Kinnereth in such a way? Something is indeed wrong here. At least our missing ships reached these waters, but this storm worries me. Tell me more about the rogue knights. The Ascendant Order? Here? I heard rumors of knights troubling folk outside of town, but I had no idea they were the culprits. I've had dealings with the Order before. This doesn't bode well. Tell me, did you learn anything at the Shallows? It seems the Ascendant Order knew the ships would be wrecked, and they helped make sure by extinguishing the lighthouse beacon. They knew my cargo was coming to High Isle. This means the Fighters Guild and Mages Guild delegates are in danger too. Ah, you caught that, did you? My missing cargo is more delegates for the conference. Perhaps the most important ones. But I need you to check on the guild delegates right now. They went to visit a druid named Ravana. Her hut lies to the west. The Ascendant Order models itself after other knightly orders, but they're nothing but terrorists. They claim to stand against those who would subjugate the nations of Tamriel under Imperial rule, but I suspect they plan to take power for themselves. They are well-funded and have a strong presence on the mainland. They proclaim a powerful message about greedy rulers and costly wars, but it's mostly rhetoric. Not that the common folk see that. Our conference makes a tempting target, I'm sure. Valencia of the Mages Guild is a dear friend. We shared a few adventures when she was starting out, and I called upon her when I needed help with a conference. She enchanted the invitation medallions the delegates require to attend the conference. I only met Guild General Quentin when he arrived. He seems to have a good head on his shoulders, but the war has cost him dearly. He lost his wife in a raid. I understand why the Fighters Guild chose to send him to the conference. Her name is Ravana. She's something of a local apothecary. She uses her skill with herbs and healing to help the folk of High Isle. With the conference delayed, Valencia was curious about druidic magic, so off she went. Quentin decided to tag along.
Greetings, traveler. Is there something I can do for you? Do you need a poultice or perhaps an herbal tea? Ah, yes. The curious mage and the stern warrior. They stopped by. When I mentioned that rogue knights had been making the countryside dangerous, they decided to investigate. I told them where I'd last seen the knights, and they set out at once. A clearing to the southwest. I'll mark the spot on your map. I saw a band of the knights gathering there the last time I went out to gather herbs. They forced me to retreat without them. I warned Valencia and Quentin it might be dangerous. Oh, you'll find druids throughout the Sisters Archipelago. Not too many on the mainland, though. Long ago, we druids left Tamriel and its troubles behind us. But here, our ancient ways survived. Our forebears among the Bretons believed civilization should live alongside nature, not tame it. In the early years of the Direni hegemony, they struggled for the soul of High Rock. They lost, Driven into exile, the Druids left to seek a place where they could live according to their beliefs. Their wanderings brought them to the Sisters. The followers of the Weird remained behind. They walked a different path than the Druids. We follow the old ways. Some call us priests of Ifre, but that is only part of our truth. We are children of the land, like the Weird, guides and teachers to those who live in harmony with nature. People were not meant to bow before crowns of metal. Our people, the Breton people, went astray when they forgot the ways of nature. Stone walls and empty titles separate folk from the true way. We help them remember what their ancestors once knew. Some circles see it differently, of course. Circles are fellowships of like-minded druids. Each interprets Ifre's will differently, but druids of the same circle share common traditions and goals. I belong to the Stonelore Circle. We seek to teach others by the example of our work. Yes, travel far enough in the archipelago and you may meet druids of the Eldertide or Firesong circles. Although the Firesong rarely leave their island, and you should be wary of the Eldertide. They do not like city folk or mainlanders. The Weird are Breton witches. They follow teachings and practices that share a common ancestry with the Druids. Whereas we left the mainland, they remained behind to safeguard the forests of High Rock. We have more in common than we have differences. The biggest that you would notice is that the Weirds are all female, while we Druids accept all genders in our ranks. And we organize in circles of common beliefs, while the Weird Sisters form covens.
You're the one Lady Arabelle spoke to at the docks, aren't you? You volunteered to help investigate the ships that failed to reach port. It's good to see a friendly face, especially after what just happened. Guild General Quentin accompanied me to visit Druid Ravana. When she told us about rogue knights in the area, Quentin was eager to investigate. It was the Ascendant Order. They overpowered Quentin and knocked me senseless. They captured Quentin. I don't think so. The Ascendant Order was definitely trying to take us alive. That's the only reason I had the opportunity to throw up a shroud spell and avoid being captured myself. Did you come out here to find us? And Ravana told you where to find us. Good. Now, we must rescue Quentin. I may have a way to find where the Ascendant Order took him, but we should get to safety first. Meet me back at Druid Ravana's hut. Lady Arabelle and I had dealt with him on the mainland. The Order tried to stop the conference by striking at delegates before they even left Tamriel. We stopped them, but not before the previous guild delegate was killed. Then they appointed me. I came to talk to Ravana about arcane and related topics, and Quentin decided to tag along. When Ravana told us about rogue knights, I feared it might be the Ascendant Order. Quentin wanted to investigate. Turned out I was right. No. We came upon them just as they were finishing an attack on a caravan, but I assume they recognized us or decided our station warranted capture rather than elimination. But you came with a warning, didn't you? What did you find out? Wrecked the ships? How in oblivion could they coordinate such a thing? Clearly, the Ascendant Order is aware of the plans for Lord Baccaro's conference. They're here in force and causing more trouble than we anticipated. If they recognized us as delegates, there's all sorts of ways they could hold that over the conference. If they just assume we're rich nobles, ransom is always an option. But who can really say what those helmeted bastards are thinking? Lady Arabelle and I had dealt with him on...